Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? This is Brian Kaiser Tillman coming to you with another plan with me. So this is plan with me for October, and I am doing the making of a journal or a bullet journal. I have a sketchbook, and my tools of the trade that I generally use are Shinhan Art touch liners. I found some metallic pens. We're going to try those out today. A white gel pen. So the metallic pens I got from the dollar store, so we're going to see how that works out. Then just a Pentel mechanical pencil, an eraser, highlighter that I bought from Target. Hopefully it'll work well with the sketchbook, and ruler. And just a artist loft sketchbook that I got from Michael's. So I have to say that I do enjoy this process of making my own journal. It allows me to figure out what I actually want in a journal, and it really caters to me. So what we're going to do now is go through September, the rest of September, and just quickly run through the month so that you guys can see what I have been doing. And it started off last month with quotes. So Hustle Hella Hard was definitely my theme that I was going for, and so that was my cover. This is my monthly planner, and as you can see, it was a lot better than the month prior. Hopefully I can keep that up. My weekly layouts, which I plan on expanding on for this month because I think the weeklies are going to work better for me. And then my inspiration page, we have Robert Atkins, Enrique Rivera, Brother Baston, and Chris Campana. Those are some really great people. I'll put some descriptions I'll put a link in the description for you guys, so if you're interested, you can go check them out. Sadly, my thumbnails page is still very empty because I just didn't do anything with it, which is sad, but I plan on definitely getting back to that. Purchase goals, I do have some things. I know the month is almost over, but I plan on purchasing 2 of these things before the month's over, so that's going to be taken care of. This was by far my favorite spread, the daily tracker, which really let me see what I needed to work on. And as you can see, there's some lines that are very blank, and I really need to fix that. So I've got drawing hands and feet, or just reading for the sake of reading. Those were really low on the list, but I did pick up a lot of information by seeing that there are certain things that I just do all the time. So I'm going to try and incorporate that into a different type of tracker, and hopefully that'll work for me as well. And these are my daily spreads with my mood tracker, just a little smiley face or an angry face, or just something that will allow me to tell myself later what the mood of the day was, and then a little quote in there as well. And this one was one of my favorites, which was hustle so hard until your haters ask if you're hiring. I thought that one was really cool. As you can see, my mood tracker changes, so it's not always just smiley faces. There were things that happened that changed, but I did do it. But as my dailies went on, I realized that it was constantly the same thing over and over and over again. And so I don't think that this hourly breakdown is going to work necessarily for me right now. So I'm actually going to be changing my dailies up so that I can better utilize my time. This was another one of my favorite quotes that I found. Only dead fish go with the flow. So I thought that was really cool. So I don't want to be a dead fish, so I'm definitely gonna not go with the flow and try and make stuff different. As you can see, this month isn't over yet, so there are a lot of blanks, but I will fill them in. I promise you I will fill them in, but right now they're just blank. So as we get to the end of this and start with the October spread, I was really interested in doing something for Halloween, and so I wanted to make sure I did something for Halloween. But the one thing that I noticed is that the first time I tried this, I drew everything from scratch, and that was just a problem because then it got sped up really fast, and it just wasn't really good. So I wanted to pre-draw everything, and I'm going to use my Shinhan Art touch liner to indicate that, to ink my stuff with. And for the first time, I actually planned out how I wanted to do my spreads, which I think was also beneficial, but it also allowed me to pencil the things out, so that way I was able to really work with what I knew I needed to get done or what I wanted to do, but I went ahead and penciled everything. So I penciled my spread here for October, and I penciled out some of the layouts. Now, please, please, please tell me if you guys like that or if you don't like it, because if you don't like it, I can start with a blank page and I can definitely go from there. I just wanted to make sure that it didn't take forever, so that this wasn't a 45-minute to an hour-long video of me trying to draw this spread, because it did take a while. You know, I'm not the fastest artist, and I'm not the fastest journaler either, so it takes me a very long time to do these things. And I mean, this in of itself, the penciling and the inking took roughly about 3 to 4 hours. So like I said, I'm a pretty slow guy, but if you guys enjoyed it better when it was just the pencils, I mean just the emptiness to pencils then to inks, I'll gladly go back to that. But I don't know, it seemed really interesting and better for me if I went ahead and penciled everything out. So with this spread, I mean, I think I went kind of crazy with this spread because I went ahead and just put in all of my childhood horror movies and icons that were there. Had a lot of fun doing this. You know, had a rogues gallery of horror icons, and it went so far that I actually needed to look up some people because I remembered them, but then I didn't remember them. So, you know, I was big on Pumpkinhead. I was like, man, I got to get Pumpkinhead in there. I got to get Pumpkinhead in there. But for some reason, I just thought of the Batman villain. It seems like, you know, the guy who had an actual big pumpkin on his head. So that wasn't necessarily what he looked like in the horror films. So, you know, actually had to do some research to try and make sure that I knew what certain characters looked like. And the ones that I did know, I was able to just draw out and have a lot of fun with. But I did have to go back and look at people like Chucky from Child's Play or the Ghoulies. I had to check them out because I remembered them, but I didn't remember them. And so that was definitely an interesting task on my end, because, you know, just going back and looking through memory lane really, really helped. And I never would have done that if it wasn't for this journaling experiment that I'm doing. And once again, I have to give all props to my wife, who put me onto the whole idea of bullet journaling and just journaling in general, or planning everything out. And, you know, this is definitely something that I like and enjoy, and I think everyone can do it can enjoy it if you actually put the time in. Now, it can be daunting, especially when you see some of these fantastic people out there who are so creative with their layouts, and, you know, they have drawings and paintings and all this beautiful stuff that they have in their journal for every single page. And, you know, if you're someone like me, while an artist, am not that creative when it comes to my layouts, which you will see, because I don't have the wherewithal to actually go out and draw in between the lines and stuff. So when it comes to the planning stages of this, I'm very utilitarian. It's, you know, here's a box, there's a box, and that's what I'm doing. So it can be quite daunting if you are looking to get started and you just see all these fantastic people putting out this great work. You're like, oh, I can't do that. But let me tell you, for someone who just kind of jumped right into it without really thinking, it was just like, I'm going to do this. You can do this, and everything, it's for you. It's your own style. It's your own thing, you know, which is, I think, the best about this whole bullet journaling phenomenon, is the fact that you can actually do whatever you want and it will be fine, because the whole idea is to get you more organized, to get you more productive, and to track what's happening with your day and, you know, your life, and how can you make it better, and, you know, health-wise, productivity-wise, work-wise, church-wise, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to better, this is the way to do it. And you don't have to be intimidated by someone else. The best part about the bullet journaling community is the fact that you can ask anyone and they will actually give you tips and and help you because they want you to grow and they want you to be able to become a better you or a more organized you. So they are willing to help you no matter what, which is great. I feel very included in the community of bullet journaling, and it was very accepting, which was great. And I have to say, like I said earlier, the thing is that by just doing this is my coming up on my third month, month and a half. So it'll be my 2.5 month, October. But in that time, I've already seen my productivity go up. I've already seen the fact that my health has gotten better because, I'm drinking more. I'm tracking the fact that I'm going to the gym. And then just little things, because I put on there that I want to read. And so while I didn't do it that much, I did do it more than I normally would have, which is something that I think is very important for people to understand, is that this visually shows you what you are and are not doing. And that, for most people, is what they need, because for the most part, we're all visual people. So you need something visual to show you what you are doing well and what you're not doing well. And if you can see that, once you see it, then that's when you actually get to better yourself, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So I'm very, very happy with the fact that we can actually do this, and with the community, you can do it together. And I think that's what's really important, because it is a daunting task to put yourself out there in like Front Street by going, what am I doing well? What am I doing wrong? To take that good hard look at what you're doing. And I think that having a supportive community will actually help you with that situation. And if you're looking for one, if you're looking ready to get started, Facebook has a lot of great, great pages and great communities that are out there for bullet journaling. And just find one that you like, and then just go to town. Don't worry about it if it's straight or clean, or if you used the wrong colors or anything like that, because in the end, it's for you. And over time, you're going to get better. Your font, you'll see people doing fonts, your fonts will get better. You'll start doing little doodles, they'll get better. The materials that you use will become more consistent, so you know exactly what you're trying to do and stuff like that. Because, the more you do it, the more you practice, the better it's going to get. And with something like bullet journaling, you have to practice, because it's an everyday occurrence, or at least an every week occurrence. So you're going to be working no matter what, as long as you take it seriously, which I think is something that most people don't get. The ones who don't like it is the fact that they don't take it as seriously as they probably should. So days and weeks will go by and they're like, it's not really helping. It's like, well, you got to put in the time and effort too. But that doesn't mean you have to put in all this illustrative work. You just need to have a way to organize and track what you're doing and what you need help with. And as long as you find something that works for you, then you're golden. So as we're coming to the end of this drawing, which by the way took forever, but having it sped up is a really nice thing because you don't have to wait that long. But I don't know if you noticed on the edges, I had put some highlighter, did some orange because I figured orange was going to be good for Halloween. And the month of October. So I put this highlighter on there because I saw one person who recommended, if you're trying to find like a marker that's easy for your book, is if you color the edges. If you color the edges, then you'll be able to see it right on the outside, which will allow you to easily pick out, especially if you're doing productivity stuff, then you can actually go, okay, well, all of my finances are going to be blue edges and all of my health stuff is going to be green edges. And then you can just pick it out right away and you can label them for the month and that's it. So I think it was really cool. I liked it and I just instantly jumped on it. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually putting in a little orange. I have an orange pen, and so I figured that way, trying to keep with the orange idea, but just something really easy. And then doing a little spider web for October. Nothing too fancy, just here's my monthly. So what I'm doing now is my next two spreads, and I want to come back to thumbnails. So I went ahead and put some thumbnails in there because I need to do this. I have some sticker ideas that I want to do, and so these thumbnails will be able to, or will allow me to actually put them on Front Street, so I'll be able to see them, no problem. But once again, nothing very fancy, just a bigger outline on the outside, and then some boxes for thumbnails. And so what I'm doing here is doing a monthly goals tracker. And I can tell you that the silver pen did not work really well. And so as I mentioned before, you try stuff. If it works, great. If it doesn't, learn from it and move on. And, I realized by doing just that goals one, I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore because that's not going to work. So in the next ones I tried something different just so that I can try it. I've got to be able to figure out how and what is going to work for me. Then for this one, what I did was the purchase planner again, because I did think that it was helpful. It did help me constantly think about what it is that I needed to pick up for the month, or if I had some type of goal that I was looking for, it was like, oh, I really need to pick this up. Don't forget about it. So I'm really, really happy with the way that lays out, and I'll definitely be able to use that this month. I had some really thick outlines and realized, that's probably not what I want to do for the rest. So I'm still trying to figure it out how I want to do it. I'm using a chisel tip, Shinahan Art touch liner, and I don't think that using the thick side of it was really working. So as we go further, you'll see I have a little bit of a thicker line, but it's not that thick. And so I turned the edge and I used it differently. And so with this page, I have a different type of tracker. I have two trackers that I'm going to be working on. One is to pay my bills, and the other one is my social media tracker. So I want to have something, because I'm always questioning, like, oh, did I pay that? So I figured, it's just really easy to figure it out and just write them all down and go from there. And the social media tracker, I need to make sure that I'm posting, so I wanted to really do a visual calendar so that I know I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, I've got YouTube, and then I have Facebook. So I'll be able to mark out when I post there, what days I posted, and so I can see when I'm the most active and when I'm not. So I wanted to definitely separate that out. I think trackers is going to be a huge thing for me, so definitely be on the lookout for that, because I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of tracking. This is the inspiration page that I did last month as well, and it was very interesting for me to constantly look up people. So just trying to find some inspiration, so as I move forward, I'm like, oh, this will be good. I really want to work on this or work on that, or probably collaborate with that person. So I wanted to definitely do another inspiration page. What I'm doing here is, there it is, vlog ideas, because I am trying to rekindle my vlog, and I just want to make sure that I have some ideas before I go forward, so I don't want to just come in and start talking. So vlog ideas was definitely a nice brain dump that needs to happen. So with this one, what I'm doing is putting together a convention breakdown, because we're coming to the end of the year, which means I need to start looking for conventions for next year. And as an artist, I go to these conventions, I get set up, or I'm featured or something like that. So I gotta make sure that I have them laid out or scouted. And so it's just, the name of the convention, the date, what's the cost, and if there are any notes. So just a very easy and simple layout for me to write down information, so that I'm not always constantly trying to figure it out or guess what can I do, or where's this place, or and it also helps when someone says, hey, there's this convention, now I have a place to just write it down instead of going, oh, I'll try and remember that. Next, what I'm doing is the tracker, the main tracker that I did. As you can see, it is one page instead of 2 pages, because there were certain things, like I said, that I had done well and always, and I figured I don't need to track that anymore. But I went ahead and I still have my tracker, which is very helpful. I love it. And monthly, it's got every day, and I'll be marking out exactly when I do stuff. So I highly recommend doing a daily tracker if there's stuff that you're trying to follow and make yourself better with. So definitely do a tracker. What I'm doing here as an artist, I'm always trying to create new projects, and instead of just having it everywhere, I figured, hey, I can just put it in my book. And so just some project ideas, and then the name, the audience, the summary of it, and the materials it's going to take, and whatever the wow factor is. There's always got to be something that's going to attract people. So I wanted to make sure that I have that. And then on the following page, what I'm doing is having a timeline for projects. So if I was to start a project, what would the first 4 weeks be like? And I think those are the most critical when it comes to creating projects, is to make sure that you actually knock a lot of hard work out in the first 4 weeks, especially if it's a large project. And so this way I can actually map them out a lot easier. But as you can see, very simplistic when it comes to how it's laid out, nothing fancy, just some boxes. And I think it's a very interesting and simple layout that is going to be the most effective for me. And excuse me, so what I'm doing now is, as I mentioned earlier, that hourly breakdown for the days just isn't going to work for me, or it's not working for that matter. And so I've created my first weekly spread. So I'm going to try this. I've seen a lot of different planners and a lot of different planners and YouTubers using this weekly spread, or using a type of weekly spread. So I want to go ahead and give it a try. And so I give myself a lot of room to put in the things that are needed. I've got birthdays and appointments, goals for that week, contacts, and any type of notes. But once again, very simple, just straight to the point, just trying to make sure I can get some stuff done, and continuing with my orange straight down. And by the way, that not the Sharpie, the highlighter did not work very well. So it might be the brand, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and try and figure that one out and buy another one. Now, with me saying that, the hourly didn't work for me, that doesn't mean that I don't want to do daily spreads. So I am still doing daily spreads because I need a list. I'm a list guy. And so what I'm doing here is creating a task list, notes list. The circles are going to be my mood trackers, because I thought that was still very interesting and helpful to see how the days were going. And I have a pending projects section in there. So I always happen to have a lot of projects going, and there are some that are important. So the long box at the bottom is my current project that's going on, and I'm going to be tracking how far I am every day so that I can hopefully see that there's progress going on. And then the other ones are the pending ones, which are, hey, here's a new project, when is it due? Just so you can see, and if it's something that needs to happen, I can keep moving it forward day to day to day, just to make sure that I don't forget about it. On the bottom, you can see that I put Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram again. So this way I can mark it off. So this one's just more of a checklist for me, not a tracker. It's just, hey, don't forget you need to do these. But on the orange now, you can see me, I'm marking off some of the things that I had done beforehand, which was, I was tracking my water, I was tracking whether I was going to the gym, if I was eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and going to sleep in a timely manner. So now I'm utilizing the space that I was using for the orange so that I can actually go ahead and track that. And so what's happening now is we're just going to run back through, we're going to check that out so you guys can see exactly what's going on for the whole month, just going through the the things that we drew up, the goals and purchase goals, all my trackers. So I just want to say thank you guys so very much for coming out and clicking on this video and staying with me while I rambled on about what I was checking and what I was doing and stuff like that. I hope that it was informative. I hope that it may be inspiring, so that you guys would be willing to actually do your own journal and your own planner, so that you guys can become more productive and more active in your current and daily lives. And if for any reason you guys do one, please put a link, give me a link in the comments. That way I can check them out and I can see what you guys are doing, because I'm always interested in seeing new spreads. So please, please, please leave a comment, give a like, share this to somebody. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that, because I'm going to start doing weekly spreads as well that you can see. So plan with me weeklies, and please just join me. Let's join the community together and let's grow together. So please, if you feel inspired by my intro spread and you want to do something like it, please send me an image, put a link in the comments, And yeah, we'll just go from there. I really want to make sure that we can grow and I can grow. And so thank you guys so very much, and I will see you at the next Plan With Me.